Okay, I'm going to do an on-road test today, so this is not really focusing on going up hills or anything. It's going to be mostly flat ground, all nice and smooth. On average flat, there's a few up and downs, but I'm going to be using this gear here that's like the highest gear, so that should also give me an idea of what the top speed would be, again along flat ground. And to record what's going on, I have this little Arduino Pro Mini and a GPS module and a little single cell LiPo to power it, and I'm just writing the maximum observed speed and also the distance travelled. I might show you the code for this later on, but basically every time you go 250 meters from the last point that you logged a distance at, then you increase a number in the EEPROM as well. So it's only going to be accurate to 250 meters. The reason I did that was because EEPROM numbers, at least if you want to save something as a single byte, they only go up to 255. So it wasn't going to be enough to measure every meter. So I'm starting at 66.5 volts, or 66.56, something like that. And because of the problem with the battery not being, one of the batteries at least, is not very good, so I have a couple of cells in there that are starting at 4.13 volts. That's all I can get them to charge up to. So on that battery I have a battery alarm on the balance plug to let me know that if at least that one battery, I'll be able to tell if something's going bad with that one. And hopefully it'll be that one that goes bad first, so I'll know to start pedaling if that happens. But hopefully that won't happen, because I'm planning to only go down to about, I'll try and arrange it so that I get back here at about 56 volts. And we'll see how that goes. I don't think I'll really bother to record any of the video. There's not that much to see. It's not sort of, it's just flat ground, so unlike yesterday's one with the off-road stuff, I don't really need to show you the slope of the hill or anything like that. So I might put in a little bit of video somewhere along the line if I get some, but I'll probably just cut to looking at the results, I think. Okay, well, I've come out to the end of my test road. As you can see from the sign there, this is as far as I can go. So up there is somebody's farm. The last part of this road is actually gravel, so it wasn't tar seal all the way. I rode pretty hard for the first half of it. It's about 10 kilometers here, if I remember correctly. I'll check when I get back, but yeah, I rode pretty hard for the first half, and then I noticed that the ESC was getting a lot warmer than yesterday, presumably because with this kind of riding the power is on constantly rather than sort of going up and down the hills. I think it's sort of on and off a little bit more. And the motor, of course, is, oh, that's quite hot. That is quite hot. It's a little bit, no, it's not comfortable to hold my hand on there, so that is, I might just give it a little bit of a rest. Oh, and the battery voltage is, let's see, where is the thing? 61.2 at rest. So if I'm going from 66 to 56, this is about halfway. So let's say we get another 10 kilometers to get back, and it'll be 56. Let's assume, I mean, I know it doesn't quite work like that, but it'll be, oh, there's a chicken. Okay, enough chickens. Yeah, so I'd say we get 20 Ks out of this before it gets to storage charge, which is about what I expected. I mean, with the choice of batteries that I made, it's more for short rides that are a little bit more punchy and fun, like riding off-road on the farm, which is kind of what I wanted to do with it. And it's not really suited for longer, more continuous power on cruising like what I've been doing today. So I didn't pedal with it except for just a couple of little times. I found that in this gear, even at full throttle, I could keep up, my pedal cadence could keep up with the electric motor, and it's actually quite fun to pedal with it. Sort of counterintuitive really. I thought it would be more fun just to not pedal at all, but it's sort of a funny feeling, like you feel like you're Superman, you can pedal really fast or you're really strong or something. Anyway, it was kind of fun, but I only pedaled for probably about 15-20 seconds max, and the rest of it was under battery power. What a nice little spot. I thought I'd give the motor about 5 minutes or so to cool down, but it's kind of nice just standing here. Should have bought a drink or something. So it's about 15 minutes after I got here now, and the motor has cooled down to a fairly reasonable temperature. I can hold my hand on it with no problems. It feels about as warm as it was yesterday, and this has cooled down to basically nothing. It's like ambient temperature. The batteries were just slightly warm, by the way. That's why I've kept the lid shut. They didn't really need to be cooled too much. They were definitely a lot cooler than the ESC. And it took me 20 minutes to get here, by the way. I think I forgot to mention that before. So that's 20 minutes to get 10 kilometers, which is 30 kilometers an hour, which is not very fast on average, but it'd be interesting to see what the top speed was, because I was hitting it pretty hard at one point right at the beginning. So I'm going to go home now, and I'm not going to hit it hard at any point along the way. We're starting from 61.3 volts, and I'm just going to take it easy and see how far I can stretch it out. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get home without having to pedal, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, I'm back home now. The battery alarm went off just before I got back, so I had to do quite a bit of pedaling for the last few hundred meters. But apart from that, it was battery power, and the batteries are a little bit warm. Speed controller is not even warmed up at all, it's ambient temperature, and the motor is just slightly warm. It's warm, but that's because for most of the return trip I just sort of cruised at probably 30 kilometers an hour or so. Maybe that's what it felt like, and it was quite happy at that speed. It didn't have much, just looking at the number on there, it didn't have much voltage sag while it was under power, and it wasn't enough for the motor to build up lots of heat, so it was able to dissipate the heat as it, generated it. So that was quite a comfortable cruising speed, I think. And it's going to be more than 20 kilometers round trip, because I did the last part of the trip over and over and over about 4 times, because it's nice and flat on that area. So I wanted to get it down towards 56 volts. It's actually 58.1 at the moment, but I'm obviously not going to do any more because of that problem with the low voltage cell. So here's the code that's running on the Arduino, or at least the main loop of that, and over here we can see the results that this has given us. So I won't really explain this in too much detail, it's pretty simple, but basically we just check if the current speed is more than the maximum speed that we've seen, and then we overwrite. If it is, then we overwrite the value of the maximum speed in the EEPROM, and then for the distance travelled we check if we've moved 250 meters further than the last point that we updated the distance reading, and if so, then we read the distance value from the EEPROM, increment it by 1, and then write it back again. So it's pretty simple, and the result of this, when I got home and connected it to the Arduino IDE, in the setup function I do this as well. So this is just what we're seeing there. So we've got max speed 60, so that's 60 kilometers per hour, which is about 40 miles per hour, I think. And distance is 97. So this is 97 times 250 meters, which is just over 24 kilometers. It was probably actually a bit more than that, because of the way that this bit here works. If you don't actually travel 250 meters, it will register as 0. So let's say this bracket here is my starting point, and I start from here and I go 240 meters over this direction, and then I go back, and then I go 240 meters over here and back, and I could just do that forever and it would never register as having moved anywhere because I didn't go more than 250 meters away. So quite a few of those times when I went up and down the same piece of road, it might have not have been measuring the full distance. So I'd say it's probably more like 25 kilometers in total. So yeah, the distance, I know it's not really a great range. It's about what I expected. It's going to be more fun for riding around on the farm than it will be for riding long distances on the road. Anyway, so that's what happened. That's the results of the test, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.